I've been trading for 5 years, and over the past 2 years, I've acquired multiple six figures in funding, and I've been able to trade full time. And in this video, I wanted to share with you the 5 things that I stopped doing, which allowed me to become a profitable trader. So if you're struggling in your trading, if you are unhappy with the results that you are currently getting, you'll want to watch this video, learn from my experiences so you can scale your trading, get funded, and make more money as a trader. Point 1, okay, what was the first thing that I stopped? The first thing that I stopped was I stopped comparing myself to other traders. I stopped looking on social media and looking at what whoever else is trading, and instead I focused on my own trading. I stopped comparing myself to other traders, and this also includes stopping comparing myself to how others are trading as well. So I had my own strategy, I was learning my own way of trading, and what I stopped doing to become profitable was comparing myself to everyone else. When you compare yourself to everyone else, from my own experience, it caused me to second guess my system. It caused me to doubt how I was trading. I was seeing someone else make money a different way, and so then it caused me to have less trust in my own system that I was building, which had an impact on my results and was stopping me from actually growing my trading account, getting funded, and achieving the goals that I wanted to achieve. And so that is the first thing that I stopped. I stopped comparing myself to everyone else and just became laser focused on my own trading, what I needed to do to succeed, and dialed in on my own system, stopped comparing myself and my own strategy to everyone else's strategy that I saw on social media, and just focused on mastering and trusting my own system and ultimately staying in my own lane. Point 2, the second thing that I stopped trying to do or stopped doing in my trading, which allowed me to become profitable, was looking for high risk to reward trades. So I trade currently, with the system that I trade now, I trade a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. So if I'm risking 1% and the trade wins, I can potentially make a return of 3% on any given trade. I never used to trade like this. I used to look for essentially home runs, or every trade I was looking for, I was trading a high risk to reward trade management plan. And so I had, I believe it was a 1-to-5 risk to reward ratio that I was trading in the beginning. And what happened was I would take a trade. Okay, the trade might have been a good trade. It was a high quality trade, and price would move in my favor, maybe 2R, 3R, and it would reverse. And so going back over my data through my journaling, reviewing of all my trades, I noticed that, okay, well, a large sum of my trades were actually, they were profitable, so they would move in favor when I took the position, but then they would end up reversing at around 3R, 4R, sometimes 2R or 1R. And so I stopped trying to look for home run trades. I stopped trading high risk to reward ratio trades. So I went from trading a 1-to-5R, so again, risking 1% to potentially make 5% on a trade, which is, you have to wait for price to move, or price has to move quite a lot in my favor in order for it to actually hit my take profit. And like I said, a lot of times price would move in my favor, but then reverse and stop me out before actually hitting my 1-to-5 take profit. And so what I did through my journaling, through the data collection, I stopped trading a 1-to-5 and switched over to a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. And for me personally, from my own experience, this is the sweet spot. I trade predominantly a supply and demand trend trading setup or trend trading system, and so I'm looking to follow the higher time frame trend, and I can capture 1-to-3Rs, and this is what I trade now. But 1-to-5 was too much, and so I stopped trading or looking for high return trades or high risk to reward setups and switched over to a 1-to-3 risk to reward. Moving on to point 3, the third thing, that I stopped doing, which allowed me to become profitable, was trying to trade every day. Okay, and instead I focused on trading the highest quality setups within my own strategy. I constantly felt, as I was progressing as a trader and going through my career and building experience, I honestly felt that I always had to be trading every day. I felt that if I wasn't trading every day, I wasn't making progress, and that I'm missing out on moves, and I must be in the market. I'm a trader, and if I'm calling myself a trader, and if this is my profession, I need to be taking a trade every day. Just to give you an example, it's like saying you're, let's say, a builder, okay, just for example's sake, and you don't actually do any building work for 2 weeks. In that case, in that example, people are like, well, are you a builder, or are you just part-time, or what do you actually do, because you're not doing it every day? Trading is completely different. And just because you call yourself a trader doesn't mean you need to be trading every day. And I know that there's a cliche saying is day trading doesn't mean everyday trading. And this is something from my own experience that I stopped doing and that I learned, which allowed me to become a profitable trader, which was understanding that I do not need to be trading every day, and that instead I just want to be focusing on executing or improving my execution and focusing on trading the best, highest quality setups within my own trading strategy. And that meant getting comfortable with not trading every day and missing out on low quality trades. And again, like I said, being comfortable with not trading, not placing trades, and truly understanding that even though I'm not trading, the actual act of waiting for a position, waiting for a high quality setup to present itself, even if it takes a week, 2 weeks, that is all part of being a trader and actually being profitable and making money from the markets. It's a profitable action. The actual act of waiting is part of our job as a trader. And this is something that I stopped doing. I stopped feeling the need to trade every day, got comfortable with not trading every day, and focused on trading the highest quality setups within my own trading strategy. Moving on to point 4, the fourth thing that I stopped doing, which again allowed me to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve in trading, scale my trading, acquire multiple 6 figures in funding and pull money out of the markets, was I stopped trying to be right. And in the beginning of my career, I felt a very strong need for each individual trade that I'm taking. I felt a strong need for them to be right. I had to be right on each trade I was taking, and this will vary from trader to trader. Some people are okay with losing, but for me in the beginning, it was a very big struggle to get comfortable and used to taking losing positions. And the need for me to be right and in my trading was the reason it was stopping me from scaling. It was stopping me from getting funded, trading full time, and actually consistently pulling money out of the markets. The need to be right, it skews, from my own experience, it skewed my perception of the market. Because I wanted to be right, I was only seeing things in the market that was confirming my own bias that I had to be right. And so I wasn't seeing the market for how it truly was. And this was stopping me from, again, achieving my goals and becoming a profitable trader. But once I stopped feeling the need, or I stopped trying to be right, this is when I began to become profitable. I slowly saw consistency. I started to get funded and was able to get payouts and ultimately go on to trade full time. And this need to be right is stopping you. It was stopping me from achieving the goals that I wanted to achieve in my trading. And now instead, all I focus on is just trying to manage my risk correctly. So I understand I can't predict the market. There's no need, it's useless me trying to want to be right. Okay, there's no need for me to be right. It's pointless. And so all that I'm focusing on now, all that I focused on to build my profitability, is just managing my risk, getting comfortable with the emotional discomfort of trading. So understanding that trading in itself is uncomfortable. It goes against human nature. So just being aware of that helps. And just managing my risk. I want to look for my best setups. I wait for the highest quality entry signal as part of my own strategy, and trying to be right is now useless. It doesn't help, it's not productive. And instead, I just want to manage my risk properly, make sure that all my stops are in place and that I am using the correct risk management protocol for my system. And then once I'm in the trade, that's it. There is zero point in trying to want to be right, because all it's going to do is create expectations while you're trading. And then if those expectations aren't met, this is when we have a lot of problems with emotional discomfort, and then this leads on to more trading errors, blowing up, till making more trading mistakes that is ultimately affecting your trading. And so that was the fourth thing that I stopped doing in order to become a profitable trader, and that is trying to be right. Moving on to the last part, the last point, point 5, the fifth thing that I stopped doing to become a profitable trader was I stopped trading multiple assets and I stopped trading multiple sessions. More doesn't mean more money in trading. And I've spoken about it in multiple videos, talking about less is more. And when I stopped trying to trade multiple assets, so I trade forex, once I stopped trying to trade multiple forex pairs and focused on one trading session, this is when, quote unquote, the breakthrough happened. I was able to be more focused, okay? I was really able to understand the one pair that I was trading, which I trade Euro USD, that's the main pair that I trade. And this allowed me to really understand, master that pair, understand how it moves, its characteristics, and by also trading one session. So I stopped trading New York, sometimes looking at Asian session when I wasn't profitable. I was on the charts all the time. It wasn't healthy, okay? And we've only got so much mental capital. And if we're staring at the charts, for me, from my own experience, when I was staring at the charts all day long, my mental capital was depleted, and within a few hours, the quality of my decision making has declined. And so I stopped trading multiple assets. I focused on trading one session, and how I chose that session was through backtesting, collecting data on my own strategy. I'd learned that during London session, or in London session, this is when my system, my entry model is most likely to be presented. So understanding that data, I said to myself, okay, I'm just going to trade London session. So I get on the charts at 8 a.m. and I finish at 12:30 p.m. UK time. My edge is most likely to present itself during that session, during that window of opportunity. Anything else outside of that, I'm not interested. I'm not looking at the charts unless I'm journaling and doing my reviewing. And so that's the fifth thing that I stopped doing. I stopped trying to trade everything. I stopped trying to trade all the sessions. I limited my chart time and focused on one asset class or one asset and one session. So it goes back to that saying that less is more. And when I implemented that philosophy of less is more, this is when I actually began to make more money in my trading. And so I wanted to share with you these 5 points, these 5 things that I stopped doing, which allowed me to become a profitable trader, so that hopefully it can help you. You can assess your own trading and stop doing some of the things that you may have been doing or may be doing now, which I was once doing, which once I stopped doing them, it allowed me to progress in my trading, get funded, scale my trading, and trade full time. Thank you for watching. Hope this video has helped, and I'll see you in the next one.